All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are going to break down the Sunday Night Football matchups for this upcoming season. So let's get right into that. So we're going to switch around the segments and graphics here. So, yeah, this is, so let's get into that first. Hold on one second. I don't want to spoil what I have because I was making sure that, okay. All right, yeah, so here we go. Perfect. So these are the Sunday night matchups. Now, I do want to say that I tried to fit every single matchup on each slide that I have, actually, because I put the remaining segments in a slideshow here. So, yeah. So, if you'll notice in the third column, yeah, it's going to, the matchups are going to get smaller and smaller because I was trying to fit them on the entire page. But this is the Sunday Night Football slate, and there are a decent amount of intriguing matchups. Starting off with week 1, you have Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit to take on the Lions. Now, these two teams did meet in the playoffs, and the Lions did win that game 24-23, I believe the score was. It was one of the best games of the playoffs. And now Stafford's going to return there in the regular season, and it should be a fun game. And the Lions, fresh off of, winning their first division title in 30-plus years. And you got the Rams, who are going to be without Aaron Donald. But, they still have a ton of playmakers on offense. You got Matthew Stafford, of course. And I think the Rams, they're going to be a good team this year, despite Aaron Donald retiring. But I'm curious to see how the defensive side of the ball is going to be with him not being there. So that's the first game. That's one of the games that I'm excited for, and that's, we get that right off the bat in week 1. Then in week 2, you got two young quarterbacks going at it. You got Caleb Williams and C.J.Stroud. And these could be two very high-powered offenses this upcoming season. The Texans, I'm expecting big things out of them with C.J.Stroud in year 2. And, of course, they added Stephon Diggs this offseason. So I'm looking forward to watching them. And, of course, the Bears, too. Now they got their rookie quarterback with Caleb Williams, and they're expecting big things out of him. And I'm expecting this team to be in the mix to make the playoffs because of all the moves they've made, besides drafting Caleb Williams. Now they got Keenan Allen. They signed DeAndre Swift. The defense played better towards the end of last year. So this could be a fun matchup. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And then you got in week 3, you got the Chiefs at the Falcons. This is an interesting matchup. The Falcons obviously now have Kirk Cousins at quarterback. We're going to see the Chiefs on primetime a lot, of course. They're one of the teams that I think that they have the most primetime games this year, besides, I think, the Cowboys and the Jets. Unless I'm getting them mixed up and it's the 49ers. It was a red team. It was one of the two. But, yeah, this could be a fun matchup. The Falcons with Kirk Cousins, the offense is going to put up points. And then, of course, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, which, in the comments, they're tired of the Chiefs. Well, like I said, you're going to be seeing a lot of the Chiefs. So that's week 3. Then in week 4, Bills and the Ravens. So they didn't play each other last year, but these are two teams that have matched up, a decent amount. Not last year, though. But, you got Josh Allen, and then, of course, you have Lamar Jackson, two of, some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You got the reigning MVP. You're going to have Derrick Henry, of course, in this game. And, the Bills, we'll see now with this new receiving core. I think this could be a fun matchup as well. Then in week 5, you got two historic franchises, the Cowboys and the Steelers. Russell Wilson now is the starting quarterback of the Steelers. We'll see if maybe they go to Justin Fields by this point, which, I'm just saying that. But yeah, again, another fun game. I think for the most part, it's always competitive when these two teams match up against each other. So, that's another fun one. But then we get to week 6, and this one's a little bit of a head scratcher for me, in my opinion. And that's the Giants and the Bengals. I don't know why this is a Sunday night matchup. I don't think the Giants are going to be very good. I talked about their defensive line yesterday and how that's something to look forward to, but I just don't think the Giants are going to be that good. You got the Bengals and Joe Burrow in that offense. They're fun to watch. But this game should be like a 1 o'clock game Eastern time, in my opinion. This should not be a Sunday night game, but I think this is probably the worst one on of the slate. But yeah, so that's week 6. Week 7, hopefully Aaron Rodgers is still playing by then, but you got the Jets and the Steelers. If Aaron Rodgers is playing in this game, I mean this could be a fun one. You got two good defenses going at it. So, that could be a good game. And then week 8, I mean, you got two teams that have matched up a lot over the last couple of years between the playoffs and the regular season. And that's the Cowboys and the 49ers. Now, last year, they only played during the regular season, and the 49ers wiped the floor with the Cowboys. And to be honest, I kind of expect more of the same, but we'll see. But yeah, again, two historic franchises going at it. So that's week 8. Week 9, an interesting one. The Jaguars and the Eagles, they played each other a couple years ago. The Jags are looking to bounce back from, the collapse last year. And you got actually, both teams had late season collapses. So, we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, this was an interesting one. Week 10, another one that I really like. The Lions and the Texans. Two high-powered offenses going at it. Could be a Super Bowl preview. Who knows? I'm looking forward to that game. Week 11, you got Anthony Richardson hopefully playing. Both quarterbacks, coming off of season-ending injuries, so hopefully they're both playing at this point. This could be a fun one between Anthony Richardson and Aaron Rodgers. So, we'll see what happens. Week 12, these two teams met during the regular season last year. The Eagles won that. Eagles at the Rams. It could be another fun one as well. Then you got the game on Thanksgiving, the late game, and that is the Dolphins at the Packers. That could be a fun one as well, although the Dolphins will be playing in cold weather. But, you got two young quarterbacks in Tua Tagovailoa and Jordan Love. So, that could be a good game. That's a good way to end off Thanksgiving. And then you got the Sunday night game that week, the 49ers at the Bills. That could be a fun one as well. And then week 14, it's always fun when Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes play against each other. And this could be another one here on Sunday night. And then in week 15, these are two teams that, they haven't played each other recently, but, now it's Jordan Love against, we'll see if it's Geno Smith or if it's Sam Howell. But, obviously they go back to, of course, they got the Fail Mary and then, the 2014-2015 NFC Championship game, and this game is in Seattle. So that could be a fun one as well. Week 16. Now, this game's going to be played on the Saturday because then these two teams will be playing each other on Christmas the following Wednesday. The Chiefs will be playing the Steelers, and the Texans will be playing the Ravens. And so the Steelers and Ravens will be playing each other the same day. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup as well. Two high-powered offenses. C.J.Stroud gets his first crack at Patrick Mahomes. This could be maybe one of possibly multiple matchups between these two quarterbacks if they match up in the playoffs. So, yeah, looking forward to that. It should be a good game. And then week 16, you got the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. The Buccaneers, the NFC South champs. We'll see where they are at this point in the season. And then the Cowboys, again, I expect them to be a playoff team. Some people are low on the Cowboys, and I know they didn't really make that many moves this offseason, and they did lose some people, but I still think this team's going to be a playoff team. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where these two teams are at this point. Maybe this is a game that could get flexed out. Who knows? And then week 17, you got the Browns and the Dolphins. And we'll see what kind of season Deshaun Watson's having at this point. Week 18, we don't know what the matchup is because, they're going to, flex into a game. But, yeah, it's going to be the Browns are hoping for a big year out of Deshaun Watson, and, the Dolphins are hoping for a big year out of Tua. So, we'll see what happens where these two teams are at. This could have major playoff implications, this game right here, because I expect these teams to be in the mix for the wild card. So, I know I said the Dolphins I had them ranked third in my divisional rankings for the AFC East, but I still think they're going to be a team that's going to be in the mix for the playoffs. But yeah, so those are the Sunday night matchups. So before we go to our next break, I just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized, make sure to go to the following link. That is GSMCPodcast.net. Again, that really helps the show, makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is GSMCPodcast.net. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker at the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, we will then talk about the Thursday night matchups. So I'll break down those games, and that is what we will do when we come back from our second break of the show. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.